I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for finding yourself in another moment of conscious evolution. It's always a dear pleasure having you friends here. Today's stream topic is going to be about telling the truth. Simply, it was a toothbrush thought. I was thinking about what it means to lie about something, and specifically thinking about how when you lie about something, you now have to remember said lie, and then you have to tell that lie again over and over and over again for infinity, if it's a big enough lie, right? And how that act of remembering something can be cognitively taxing, as in difficult, right? That it's not exactly the best option you can take out of the infinity that's available to you. And how, in comparison, truth is easy. All right, and I'm really like emphasizing the truth, because the truth can be pretty painful as well, and it might technically be easier to lie in a moment, but yeah, I feel like you friends get the gist of what I'm trying to say. It's nice having you here. I see Shan joining us, Joy and Nancy and Natalie and Doc Dad and John. Woo! And Doc Dad, of course. Shan, I posted a picture of flowers with Mama Flowers. Yeah. Melt got my Melt shirt on for some Summer Kid Fest vibes. I'm totally giving it to that. Like, I'm trying to think of if it's politically correct to say stuff like that. You know, I don't think it cares. I don't mind it. I think maybe that's what's important. Much love to you too, John. It's such a blessing having you here with us, dude. John has been such a present and beautiful, influence in my life. I just want to echo, celebrate John. John is such a cool dude. Yes, fuck. John is awesome. Lovings to you, man. 919, let's feel alive. Yeah, yeah. Because this is a truth, right? Technically, this is a truth. I mean, it is in part an illusion, right? But I don't feel illusions necessarily have to be lies, right? Because I am convinced that I am a separate self, occupying space and time, right? Occupying this little space in this time. Yet, right? The space I'm occupying has been occupied by many others, and the time I find myself in is technically just the moment. Right, I've been thinking about object permanence. I was thinking about it during yoga today, right? That babies don't have object permanence until they're like 8 months old. So if you have like a soda, for example, I saw this video of a mom having a baby in like a little stroller or something, and it was like grabbing at the soda and was like, yeah, give me. And then she like in front of the baby's face puts it away and like puts a thing over it. And the baby just goes, like 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 NPC level, just got, unstarred on GTA vibe. And I was like, this is this is so odd. And I was thinking about what that means about our consciousness, about our ability to form memories, about our time perception, that I am here right now and in a billion years from now I won't be. And how, I might not remember anything, but I feel the universe will, right? I feel like surely what's happening right now, moment by moment, is being coded into the matrix of the rest of infinity. And the responsibility we have in that way to be truthful, right? Because the universe can't be bluffed. You can't lie to the universe, technically, right? It knows, it can see everything infinitely out of all time. So I feel like it's the easier option to actually just be truthful with ourselves. It's a truth that I am happy to be here with you all. Sending you lovin's. We have Nancy and Mojo joining us too. There's Dan the man. Blessings, brother Ryan, joining us as well. And beloved Loazana too. Blessings, eternal, infinity blessings to every single one of you. Sam, I don't think I've ever been a narcissist. New Fractal Unlocked. I think that's just narcissism, Doc. No, I don't think you are a narcissist, right? I honestly believe that our society has been a little bit brain damaged to see anybody's act of self-love as narcissism. You know, like we have labeled self-love as narcissism instead of seeing narcissism as a certain superiority complex, right? Like that's at least how I see narcissism. I was like really worried about that part of myself, you know, like really prompting, really considering. Uh, there's another word that I'm looking for as well. Mm, trying to unearth. I'm missing it, but trying to really find within myself, you know, whether or not I am showing up as a narcissist, right? You know, trying to find that as a truth in myself, and I couldn't, from the simple perspective that even though I do love myself and I do try to work on myself and try to uplift myself, I'm not trying to do that at the expense of others, right? I'm not trying to bring others down so that I can, in comparison, look better. Quite the contrary. I feel like us friends in this space, you know, kind of celebrate one another. You know, Duck Dad coming in and echoing himself being sexy, and I can go like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're sexy, dude. Yeah, you're so hot. You know, like I feel like that's the better approach, and it's a truth again, right? Because I know Duck Dad is looking at himself in the mirror and he sees Duck Dad. And it's no different with me looking in the mirror and seeing myself. Surely I see a different self, but it's still the same thing looking and seeing the self. And being able to see the self and echo love towards that is a truth. All right. Love is true. That's true. Like, you love yourself. It's true. You cannot lie about that. Technically, we can, you know? Like I'm thinking about all of the times I might have lied to myself about self-love, right? For instance, like you treat yourself with a bunch of sugar, you know, pretending that it's self-love that you're doing right now. Yeah, I love myself, so I'm gonna eat 75 cupcakes. And then I mean, I haven't actually eaten 75 cupcakes, but you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? Then you feel horrible. Uh, the difference between self-sabotage and self-love, they can be a little bit intertwined as well. You could just say you're feeling yourself, Doc. It's true, right? I think that word is pretty loaded. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Is that a gobbledygoo I see? I'm also quite sexy. Hell yeah, you are, dude. I went and saw Blink 182 concert last night with a 15 out of 10 hottie, dude. I remember you telling me that you have to like basically, you know, fight women with sticks, you know, to just make sure you keep your space. I'm happy that you allowed one of them to actually embrace, you know, your space. Blessings to you, Brother Bear. I'm so happy for you, man. Tell us, how was the Blink 182 concert? Did they sing the classics? Did you sing along? You know, did you get to be close up front, or were you in the middle of the crowd? Like, give me a mental map, dude. I wanna see through your eyes. My brother is gay, and we all know Duck Dad loves the gays per Arpan days. This is true. Love everybody, right? Gays included. No, 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 no. No. Also means something else. Morning again, Mojo. Sorry, having a gay brother makes me get silly with it. I forget mixed company. I promise. No hate, ever, 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 ever. We know. At least in this space, we know, right? I feel like that's the thing. Like we know that love is true in this space, and that's just how it is. But other people might be lying to themselves right now. Might be convinced. I was in an executive suite in an arena with 17,000 people. It's gobbledygoo, dude, bawling out of his mind. 15 out of 10 hottie on his arm, executive suite, looking over the crowd, rocking out. That sounds so sick, dude. Sending you blessings, man. I'm feeling vicariously the joy that you're feeling right now as well. You want confetti and a cookie? We get confetti and cookies if we get gay brothers? Yes, I need to convince Vessel that he actually likes men. I'm sorry. I'm just leading into what you're saying at this point, Joy. Joy, I'm feeling myself today. Yeah. Oh my goodness, dog flowers and mama flowers are so cute. Love is true. Never entered my mind. That makes you extra cool. So much love. Louisana, thank you for sending highs to our friends. Oh, stop, Joy. Obviously, one whom has gay folks around them constantly gets comfy about being silly about it. Yeah, that's how I got comfy with it as well. I have completely banished that word from my vocabulary after the last time. I'm just gonna not use that word. Anyway, use it. I'll put that word down, and like step away from it. Because I also have, a bunch of gay friends. I have like a whole group of friends who call themselves the Gamily, the gay family, and they like have like a commune together. There's like uh, four of them. Technically, one of them is transgender. Uh, I forgot her name. I feel bad for that, but yeah, beautiful people, and like if you ever have thought, one of us can be a little bit brutal with the jokes, you've never been in a family. Like they are ruthless. And then you basically have to, kind of like get with it, joke along. Otherwise you feel like you're out, or you're scared to say anything, or you'll be labeled somehow. But again, I think that's called code switching, right? Sometimes we have to code switch. We have to not lie, but we have to conceal, because that might just be easier than just speaking our truth necessarily. Yes, I would like a cookie. Who wouldn't exactly? It's too early to be mad at you, so I'm going to politely ask you to stop. Love is true. You wouldn't be feeling this way, Joy, if you didn't love yourself and the community that you know you're a part of. Yucks up, lovers. What's up, lovers? I love it. Love you too, Shell. It's nice having you here with us. I've been picking on for my looks. I've been picked on for my looks my entire life. At 38, I'm just happy to be happy for once. And I'm happy that you're happy, bro. Don't let that happiness fade. Don't let it be taken away. It is a truth, right? That happiness you feel is yours. Nobody can take it from you. Take a deep breath. Release and soften. I see a one-eyed jellyfish. Do jellyfish have eyes? No, I don't think they do, but this jellyfish was like jellyfish-like. I seen the tentacles and then one massive cyclops eye staring me down. What you gonna do, jellyfish? He says he's gonna zap me with his tentacles. No, bro, please. Don't say shit like that. I'm gonna run away. Run far away. Love you again. Had a crazy experience last weekend. This is Brother Dan, I had a depressive episode and my mom got scared. She called the wellness center and I spent 2 days and nights in a psych ward. Not a fun time. But I learned that I am actually not suicidal in the slightest. Instead, I've been depressed and going through a tough time, unemployed, single, etc. And I've been unkind to myself. There was a chaplain, I think that's the way I'm supposed to read it there, and he approached me after he'd been there for a bit. He took me aside and said, Dan, I've been observing you, and you don't offer yourself the compassion you show others. Yo, how about that for just like a one-liner? Damn. Oh, all of us can stand to hear that again. Dan, you, dear friend, are not showing yourself the same amount of compassion you are showing others. Mirroring, right? Hot damn, dude. So I've been easier on myself this week. I asked my dad for some money for yoga, yeah, and I'm trying a new place in at 12:15. Going to a new yoga place? Nice, dude. Get that yoga. It's really good for you. I'm happy that you're practicing, Brother Bear. I'm happy that you went through this experience. I'm not happy that this experience happened to you, right? I feel like there's lines there. Like, happy you got this wisdom, not necessarily happy you had to potentially suffer to get to that point. And I'm proud of you for being so strong and for learning the lessons that you were supposed to, Brother Bear. You got this. Oh, you are strong. Continue. Continue forward, one moment at a time. I am also quite sexy. Again, yeah, I love it. Great, you feel good, but don't look. You're happy to share and echo that back. Agreed. I can totally eat 75 cupcakes. Is that wrong? It's just not good for your insulin spikes, right? Like your little mitochondria can literally die, like explode if you over insulin yourself. Like getting your insulin spike that high is less than ideal. And then potentially, you end up putting so much sugar in your body that you kind of like raise the sugar content of your entire blood. And then that causes havoc as well, an extreme amount of inflammation. And I know all of these things. I know these things. I'm happy to be fasting. I'm feeling so good, actually. Oh, it's feeling nice. Okay. Nancy again, lovin's to you. Gob. Holy shit. How much were those tickets? Cheapest in Chicago. We're almost 500 buccarinos. That is quite a lot of bucks. Travis Baker drum set got suspended several meters in the air and spun and tilted while he played. That looks, in my mind at least, super badass. I can only imagine what it looked like in person. And there was fire and explosions. It was awesome. It sounds so sick. Oh, goodness. Dan, I'm glad you survived that weekend. Bless. Thank you, Loizana, for saying that. I've been there more than once myself and for more than a weekend. Now, you have some extra stories to tell. Extra perspective, right? Perspective, I feel, is one of the most important things that we can gain in life. And it's so hard to gain perspective when you're locked in what you consider your life, right? I've been feeling a little bit locked in what I consider my life, and I know that there is great change coming in like a few months or so, and it's gonna be good to gain more perspective still. Love is true. Continue, 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 continue. So happy to hear you made it through that experience and made that realization you made, Dan. Love is true. It was a group session in the hospital where I really learned in a practical way how to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. We can chat on Discord if you like. Please do reach out, teach the lessons. Loizana, that's good wisdom to share. Duckling and I went to a music shop yesterday, and I saw a couple of guitars that just screamed Gob. Thinking of, yeah, so much love. Wait, hold on. Not that it matters at all, Joy. Are you gay? Queer, if you please. Yeah, queer is the word she prefers. Hey, Google, define queer. I don't actually know what it means. Queer. Queer is an umbrella term for people who are not heterosexual or are not considered cisgender. Ah, okay. Much. Thank you. That's the Q, right? LGBTQ, queer, I'm guessing. The more you know. Inclusivity and all, right? I feel more than anything, we should be loving all, right? Regardless of your gender, your sex preferences, your genitalias. Are you conscious? Yeah? Yeah, love. Yeah. If you can be conscious of love, then you are worthy of love, right? And I feel like that's how simple it has to be. We don't have to overcomplicate things. I'm missing less than Jake tonight to spend time with family. Still going to be killer. I'm missing less than Jake tonight. I don't know what those words mean. Can't stash the kid at grandma's and go with Duck Mom. I mean, that would probably be nice, but I'm guessing, at that age, especially with, the little one being sensitive, as we all can be at that age, you don't really want to leave your kids alone. I'm trying to think about the moments my parents would leave me with my grandma. I was a little terror every time. And I'm trying to think, was I being a terror because I was lashing out with my parents leaving? Or was I being a terror because my parents weren't there to beat my ass? My grandma still beat my ass. Oh, she really beat me. She had like a wood spoon. She broke a wood spoon on me when I was like 5. Oh goodness, I'm getting flashbacks. I could not sit still. I refused. I refused to sit still. One, and also I really liked to traverse space and time. So I would just like venture into the streets and like walk down the streets and not tell my grandma anything. And then this one day I was like really venturing, and I got to like it was like maybe 9 maybe more buildings, away from our house. And my grandma stops next to me with a car. And I could just see the demon rage in her eyes, like she's furious. And she already has the spoon with her. Like she got a wooden spoon and then got in a car and then drove to find me. She was like prepped, like you're ready. And I knew as soon as I saw her in the car, I was like, oh goodness, I'm in so much trouble. You know what I learned? Nothing. All I learned is how to not get caught. I learned to tell my grandma, I'm going outside. And then I still did the exact same things, but at least maybe I did learn. Maybe I did learn some consideration, telling her at least that I'm gonna skip up, disappear. Okay, let me read some more. Joy. I will be 100% forward. I don't know any of the lingo, so feel free to correct me on anything you like. Bless. Not out of lack of caring, just haven't been exposed. Bro says gay, so I followed suit. I get it. Yeah, I feel like it's political correctness thing, right? I also have trouble with political correctness. One of the first things that Dan said to me that kind of stick with me is my way of expressing being based, and I was like, oh, nice. I didn't know that, now I do. And unfortunately, being based doesn't exactly resonate necessarily with political correctness. I do feel I have grown and adjusted and learned which things I feel comfortable with saying, but it is a process, right? And attacking our friends, for them making mistakes, I feel is closer to a lie than trying to correct them and getting them closer to the truth. Maxine! I've been missing you, friend. It's nice seeing your name in chat. Blessings. Blessings your way. How are you feeling? Are you healing well? Are you moving? Yeah. How are you feeling? Tell me about the last of it. Giants were real. Aliens seeded the planet millions of years ago, and Sasquatch is an interdimensional time traveler sent to warn us about the dangers of forest fires. Like, you started it off strong there with the giants are real. I actually believe the giants were probably real. The aliens seeding this planet millions of years ago, that one I'm still not completely sold on, even though there is some compelling information, Brother John will know as well. And then the time traveler Sasquatch, that's like where it really, like, it was like, huh, okay, oh yeah, okay, and I was like, oh, okay. Love you, Brother Joshmo. It's a blessing having you here. Sending you blessings. So much love to you, dude. We're maniacs back in the day. Dan, I struggle with remembering to be kind to myself too. Blessings. It's something that I have to relearn over and over. Yeah, glad you're on a good path now. Because sometimes we do things that we deem bad or that we deem less than truthful, right, to the fractal we're supposed to be occupying. And then when we do that, we take it as a vector, as proof that we can actually be mean to ourselves. It's like, yeah, look at this. For this reason, you're a piece of shit. And I'm pointing at this small little part of yourself. Never mind, all of the other infinity of the things that you've been doing, and how you've been working to become a better person. We get so fixated on one small little thing, right? Like a lie, instead of looking at the whole truth. People identify as whatever they want. Language changes all the time. This is true. So again, this is now my mind, and being an internet kid. Like, how do you feel when people say they identify as an Apache helicopter, Joy? Like, I'm really curious. Is that insensitive when people say that? When they say they identify as an Apache helicopter? Like, let me know. Like, I'm not saying I do, but I am curious what you think about that, Fractal. Mm-mm-mm. Am I seeing even more blessings? I got free tickets to the suite because it belongs to my daddy's company. Gang, gang. There were other randos in there with us, but whatever. Blessings, Brother Bear. Right? There ain't no shame in appreciating things, right? The appreciation you had, the gratitude you had for that moment, that is the truth. Period. Mm, Actually, truth. Yeah, truth. Oh, yeah. Truth tastes nice. So refreshing. Mm, Duck that was true. Gob, all your suffering as a mere serf are now invalidated. Yeah, you can never ever play the victim card ever again. Congratulations. You have just pre-canceled yourself. I'm joking, of course. You're perfectly gob nonetheless. Sounds like it was awesome. Really does. Q for Queen. Q for Queen. Nice. Gotcha, Joy. Well, the extra hugs and never any malicious intent. Thank you for educating me. Ain't nothing wrong with that, gob. Agreed. Lol, Ryan. Melty. What if the truth is hard? That's actually how I started the stream topic, Brother Bear. Literally, like that's why I added easy in the title in like parentheses as well, because the truth isn't actually easy, right? I feel long term, it's easier than telling lies. But in the moment, it might be easier to tell a lie. Like if your kid, for instance, asks you, what happened to my dog, Dad? And you go, went to a farm, instead of being like, your dog got run over by a car, got flattened, dead. Like that's the truth, but that's pretty hard, right? I would like to believe that if I'm a parent one day, I would like to compassionately talk to my child about death as well, but it is hard. Even though I believe it will be easier in the long term, right? Like years later, my kid comes back to me, talks to me about the passing of his dog. Now I'm either gonna have to continue the lie and tell him, yeah, actually, dog dead, didn't go to farm, versus him being able to be compassionate with someone else who might have lost a pet, being able to resonate with them. So I agree, dude. It's a good question to ask. Like time you referred to, if someone showed you their baby, you could celebrate how cute it is, even if it's the ugliest baby. Exactly. Right. But I feel, again, that baby can still be loved, right? That is the truth in that scenario. You celebrating the baby's cuteness is an act of love. And in that way, it's still truthful, right? Technically. It might be hard, but I feel like it's going to be, at least in my mind, easier than continually lying. Like maybe like for instance, if you have to keep talking to this person over and over and over again, and you have to keep lying to them about how beautiful you think their baby is when it's not, that's where it gets hard. Because the opposite can be very much true on today's topic. Completely agreed. I'm happy that you're echoing that other side as well. It's true, my millionaire father has been sharing abundance with me lately. Bless! Perhaps he's reconciling decades of being an abuser. Bless, bless! I'm happy that he's doing that, Goo. Celebrate him. I hope that you're willing to forgive. I'm hope that you're willing to receive this part of himself that is actually willing to reconcile. Even if he might not use the direct words to say it, I hope that you're willing to receive that as a state of being. I know it is hard. And weirdly enough, it's been the same with my dad as of late, like for the last 5 days, essentially, where I had this conversation with him. I'm like, Dad, we don't talk about religion anymore, period. Right? Like, that's just not something we can do. Is that Sam? Hey, Sam. Because it doesn't serve any of us, right? There is no progress made. Like, we have been having this conversation for half a decade. Actually, a decade. It's been like, I was stripped out. Oh, no. 15 was a decade ago. That's horrible. We've been talking about it for a decade and no progress has been made, and we still get angry about the same old thing. So maybe we shouldn't. I'm getting fire on my laser art by the sun, the one spot that there's sun shining. You can probably see it in the back. Bruh. Bruh, sun, please. Oh, mercy. And since I refuse to talk about that topic, it's easier to talk to my dad. Unfortunately, now the conversations tend to be a little bit more materialistic. You know, like there's nothing to talk about other than stuff. Don't talk about feelings. No, no. No, men don't have feelings, of course. You know, can't. Like I've seen my dad again. I've shared this before. Like I've seen my dad not looking like he's having a good time. Like, and then I ask him about it, and then he's just unwilling to admit or say anything about it. So yeah, we take the wins we can get with the gob. I'm proud of you for being willing to. Less Than Jake, I partied with them guys many times back in my day. They used to tour the Florida Pink Circuit all the time when they were getting started. I'm guessing it's a band. They had a brand new wooden spoon for that. She had a, I feel that might have been the day that she actually broke it on me, to be completely honest. Joy, you're a terrible judge of character. What? What? Where did that come from? I know, I love you most of all, Doc. No. Oh, that's so much. If that's the case, Gav, you can accept an apology in the form of cash and favors. Sometimes that's all people have to give, you know, that like joke of some people are so poor, all they have is money, you know. And like there's a lot of people that are so poor, all they have is money. Bruh, like why, son, dude? Like there's like one spot that the sun is actually shining through and it's like literally blasting my eyeballs. Please, mercy. Mercy. I'm sorry, Pippi. I know this is uncomfortable for you too, sweetie girl, but the sun is blasting me. There we go. That's better. That is better. I'm not level anymore. I will lift this foot up. I'll do this. Yeah, that's better. Cool. No more getting fire on my lizard. Man, my things are now. Pippi is kind of in the way, just chilling here underneath. I'm moving things. I'm sorry, Pippi. Bring this thing closer to me. There we go. Bruh. I'm getting mildly triggered right now. My OCD kicks in full force. It's like, yeah, everything is crooked now. Everything is making your brain go, ah! Okay, relax, brain. Look, things are better now. Yes, they're still not level. Technically, there's things in my field of vision that's not level right now. That's tripping me out as well. But I'm gonna put it down. Yossi, how many did I miss? A lot. I'm scrolling up. There we go. Okay. My fractal of Mel's grandma has her showing up with a leather chest bandolier filled with wooden spoons of different sizes and shapes. I kind of like that fractal, you know, going full Terminator on me basically, or you know, Rocky Balboaing me or something. Joe, nice seeing you again, Maxine. Lovins to you. Happy that you're enjoying the experiences. Good for you. Agreed. So many punk shows. It's my plan, Sham. I don't expect him to straight up admit any of it, but I take the trickle down wealth, because I forgive him and I love him anyways, without exception. Love is true. All right, that is the truth. It is a truth. I'm so proud of you, Brother Bear. Thank you for doing that. Not only for you, but for your dad as well. You know, I'm sure that it's helping him. That was my last mushroom trip, absolving myself of my resentment and forgiving. Absolutely. It was very healing. That's the work we're here to do, right? The hardest work, really letting go of the stuff that you've been holding on to. I'm surviving. Oh no, I pulled a muscle in my neck after the 4th of July, taking a dab and coughing. I could barely move. I always drank water, but for the 4th, I thought some wine would be safe. Got way too dehydrated. Yeah, wine can be a little bit brutal. There's giants in the Bible, also people who lived for centuries. It's true. It's true. I think, have we found skeletons? Hey, Google. Have we found giant skeletons? I'm not getting any clear yeses. An old hoax? Apparently, no. Native burial mounds. Found some bones. The largest human skeleton ever found was 25 feet long. Okay, so we have. I'm getting conflicting information. I want a truth-seeking AI. Come on, bro. Like I need truth. I don't feel like any of this information is trustworthy. But I don't see any problem with giants. It's just like a mass thing, right? Like the bigger you get, the harder you fall kind of vibe. You know, like it's really inefficient being a big body technically. You know, you actually don't want to be that big. Damn, we are fragile, Beansy. That is true. Joy, you ready to talk about nepotism? I know the word nepotism, but I don't know the word Nephilism. Nephilim. Nephilim? Is that some giant as well? I think maybe so. Fascinated by them some. Shell saying, then, when I was in the ER for my own mental health breakdown, the psychologist said to me, you need to just be kind to yourself. And I laughed at her because I didn't understand. Yeah, some people don't know that that's an option. It's like, wait a second, I can not be extremely critical of every single thing I'm doing? Excuse me? And this is how it's been my whole life. Every single person, all of my family members, super critical, you know. How is there any other way? Melt. Most definitive proof for genetic alteration is the story of the Tower of Babel, where it says God changed the builders into different races and cultures and languages. This is that premise. Yeah. I heard about that one too, but I don't know if it checks out for me either, right? Because that means we were like a unified species and we all spoke the same language. And then we got ununified and then scattered around the earth, which in Bayesian reasoning doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, what's more likely that we were one species and then got diversified, or that we are a diverse species that is trying to reach unity, right? Like, I feel like that's technically our story right now. Like all of us, you know, came from different places. For instance, you know, like the Chinese population have a gene that, or the lack of a gene that causes them to have a hard time processing dairy products. You know, so a very large population or a large portion of the population is lactose intolerant. And then there is a subspecies of human beings, you know, more Caucasians, who have that gene activated. And because of that, they have the ability to actually process dairy. And if you look at the history, the Chinese society didn't have, you know, dairy cows as much as, you know, other people, you know, around the world had. And as a result of that, we have the genes and they don't, right? Where in my mind, if we were the same species, you know, a species that could, for instance, you know, like survive off anything of the land, all of us would have those genes activated. Maybe, you know, over the thousands of years, there could have been enough diversification that those genes got switched on or switched off again. But there is differences, right? Like I feel like we're all human, but there definitely are distinctive evolutionary differences, you know, and it's pretty interesting to me as well. I feel like it's a beautiful part of our world, you know. Diversity is what makes us as strong as we are. Do you believe the reports of Nephilim bones being unearthed in various places? Apparently, it's a hoax, at least from the articles that I saw. I hardly identify as human. Agreed. In January and February, I had no idea how to be compassionate to myself. But then I actually fell in love with myself. So things are better. Not perfect, but getting better. That's how it's always going to be, right? We're always heading towards better. I don't feel there is reaching something as perfect. I want to say fortunately. I feel if we could, you know, what would the next step be if we reach perfect? I think it's hilarious, Melt. Who wouldn't be a helicopter if they could? Okay. The Apache helicopter thing makes me rage. You see that difference of perspective. That's why I love you, friends. Is Kristen here too? I think so. Love to see you. It's the perspective, right? The proof is that different race humans have 2% genetic difference. 2% can make a massive difference, right? Like an enormous difference. This is true. right? I feel like there's a 2% difference between us and chimpanzees. I think it's chimpanzees, maybe. Joy, I felt so angry. I was literally just a deep cough. I tried to let out gently so I wouldn't hurt my core. Killed my entire day. I'm so sorry. 2% would take 4 million years of separate evolution. It's true, actually. Nothing like being sprung on yourself to naturally occur. Oh my goodness, Maxine, that sounds rough. I hope you've been getting better, though. Thank you, Shan, for echoing the love. Maxine, have you been taking one of Shan's remedies? I'm curious, actually. We are the undeveloped children of giants. Stories say that they live for hundreds of years, but since our life expectancy is only 75 years, we never actually grow to our proper size. We be baby giants. I mean, if you think about it from the scale of like microorganisms, like the viruses that kind of attack us, we are enormous, like unfathomably big, right? Like you are so big that it would be impossible for you to conceptualize an entity to the same scale, right? Like imagine literal a person or a thing, a being the size of our planet, right? The actual size of, like, you're looking up at the sky and you're seeing face, your entire field of vision, right? That's like how big you are in comparison to the microorganisms that live on your skin, for example. So yeah, we are giants. I agree. I'm team Joe on this one. Wait, hold the phone. So Melt believes in giants, but not Bigfoot. Melt is prejudiced against the hairy folks. No, I don't even know if I believe in giants. I believe in science, right? I believe there are giants in science. This is true. And I went to do the research, right? I had to be like, hey, oh, is there actually evidence that giants existed? And I have to go check it out. Like I'm super down to be proven wrong or to be proven right, as long as there's truth. Right? It's easier to know the truth than it is to fabricate a lie and then to continue perpetuating it. Jan, I swear to God, your energy tinctures, there we go, have helped carry me through all of the physical health BS. Way easier than I could have imagined. It's the equivalent to SpongeBob with his yoked arms. I'm so happy. I like how I asked, and you already sent a message in chat, talking about how it's been helping. Bless, Maxine. Bigfoot implies that it's a cryptid, singular, rather than a community of beings keeping themselves out of sight on purpose, is true. That, and I mean, if there were Bigfoots, big feet? Bigfootai, yes. If there were Bigfootai, they would have left bones, unless these Bigfootai hide the bones as well, right? Like, and I don't imagine that being the case. We surely would have had found Bigfoot bones at this point, at least, Shan's remedies, y'all get your consultation. Agreed. I actually got my consultation again like 2 days ago. My remedy is already delivered, but I don't I don't have it yet. I think it's still at the flat. Lieber Lamb, nice having you here, friend. Sending you blessings. I don't think I've seen your name before. Maybe you had a different name before, but it's nice having you here. Now, blessings. Last year, when last year, when our ducks got murdered, we told Duckling that they were happy. They fly away to go make other ducks happy. She was only 3. I'm dreading the day Zoe dies in the near future. I'm sending you all the strength for that experience, Brother Bear. You will know what was right, what is the truth in that moment, at least. Show up for it. We'll tell her the truth. Yes, jumping. They made a TV show too about Harry. We're always going through similar patterns over and over. This experience is cyclical, Like I believe I have been Meltmore exactly as I am right now an infinite amount of times. Right? It trips me out a little bit sometimes where I'm like, bro, is Shrumo here? Oh, the new name is Shrumo. Okay. Lieber Lamb. Blessings again, dear friend. It's nice having you here with us. You've been missed. Missing Fractal. Book explaining that. Oh, good. If that fails, you can just use Family Guy. The normal McDonald death always hits Family Guy. That's so much better. Maxine, it brings so much joy to my heart to read your words. I'm so happy that they have been helping you so much. Like, I like how I'm vicariously getting so hyped, for Shan's remedies working. They've helped me so much as well, And I, again, talking about the whole truth thing, right? Talking about the science backed. Technically, there's very limited scientific data around the Bash flower remedy system. There is some, but I don't think there's any corporate incentive to fund proper studies for this Bash flower remedy system, So the data hasn't been done. But I do believe, and I think, we'll probably have to do it ourselves, uh, do the tests, administer these remedies, and then at least some of it will be self-reported. It might be, what's the word, placebo as well, and even if it is, if you get better, right, because of the placebo effect, does it matter if it was placebo or not? No, you feel better now. There you go, congratulations. That is the truth, right? Do you feel better or not? Yes? Good. That's the only truth we have to be concerned with. I learned about death when my mom brought home the movie Jack. The ending had me bawling. I was 6 or 7 at the time. My mom had to further explain death to me that night. Great movie. I love Robin. When was my first real encounter with death? Oh, goodness. This is so yikes. I don't even know if I want to share this. Unfortunately, my first encounters with death as a child was with me murdering things. Right. Like I don't really, I'm proud of saying that. But yeah, there was something wrong with me as a child. Really reflecting. So I very much understood the concept of death. And for some reason at a young age, I don't know if it was an ego thing, if it was a power thing, if it was a curiosity thing, but that part of myself was like, oh, I'm capable of killing things. Right? And then that kind of connected me with this understanding that I will also die. And that it's not weird, right? That it happens. It just happens. Like it happens like the sun rising, like a cloud floating over your head, like rain falling onto the earth. You see, like I'm tripping out about how young I was when I came to that conclusion. It was just another thing. I dated one of the actors in the movie a few years later. What are the odds? We were put in the same summer program at the YMCA. That's so cool. The universe connecting you with that fractal. I got to run. Love you, Loizana. The OCD is so real. I'm sending you lovin's. And you're a programmer, Kristen. So you probably know it even more, like you get to OCD, on the meticulous side as well. Enjoy some giftness today. Nice. A beautiful friend. Everybody needs to check the Discord under general. I'm getting the car ready too. And I totally stumbled upon flowers. Wait till you see the expression, I'm guessing. Let's see. Me allowing myself to be distracted. Jy sal jouself wat verbeel. That's the Afrikaans word. Jy sal jouself wat verbeel. It's like, can you believe this? Can you believe I'm allowing myself to be distracted by the most insane looking frog I've ever seen in my life? And then a bunny in the background staring at us as well. Yeah, them frogs. That bunny looks so cute. That's Flowers. That bunny is called Flowers. There's so much lovin's. Is that what I was supposed to see? I'm guessing. You mentioned something about a car, but I'm gonna come back to chat. Oh no, what have I done? There we go, I'm back again. Do 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 do. Dang, I leave for a minute. So many different topics. Love you, and she. Like that's how the space happens, right? Like I come here with an intention, but it melts into many different fractals really quickly. Yo, really? 97% of black people are lactose intolerant too? That number seems very large. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just didn't know that statistic actually. I supplied you well, Maxine. Love is true. I also started painting again. Nice. At a snail's pace. That's more than enough. Melty, remember the huge black canvas I showed you? I finally got inspired with action after meditation on that image. I kept having to remember what you said about giving 1%. Blessings. Thank you for reminding yourself as well. Right? That it's not about being able to give 100% every single day. Right? That this whole experience we're a part of is an accumulative one. One moment by the next, 1% to the next, to the next. If you can give only 1% per day, by the end of the year, you've given 365%. Right? That's a lot of percent. And if you do that over 20 years, you will literally change the world. If not the whole world, your world. Right? And that will be the truth. I promise you. You can hit me up, Oh, Melt, I did what I loved for at least, 1% of my day, every day for my whole life, and nothing came of it. I will lose my mind. Right? I will literally drop dead in shock. I'll be like, this is impossible. Cannot be. Melty out here freestyling about science and giants. Wickety, 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 whack. I'm Shromo. Thank you, Melty. Love to you too. I've been to Bigfoot Museum in CA. It was out of some guy's house in the Redwoods. He looked like a character out of the Lord of the Rings. I love that. I'm impressed with how fast your mail is there, Melt. It does seem really good, fast way coming through pretty early. It actually was there yesterday, even, Shan, but nobody was there to receive the package. You visited a weirdo's private residence in the woods and lived to tell about it, Beans. Never mind a weirdo's private residence, a weirdo's private residence that he turned into a Bigfoot museum, right? Like Maxine is too powerful to be killed. Like she made it out alive. Even more powerful. I'm unimpressed with their package delivery myself. I'm still waiting. Like the American packages, I don't know what's up. Like I really don't. Like I feel like that's because it's our local postage system. Like there are two industries here in South Africa. There is the private industry that actually gets shit done, and then there is our government industry that has absolutely no regard for people whatsoever, right? I was sent a package last year, October. I still have not received it. And I call them up. I'm like, bruh, can you like let me know or something? And they're like, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know if there's something. Cool, 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 cool. Fine, nice, nice. Slowly losing my mind. Beansy, we have a sunk ape, Florida Bigfoot museum up here in the swamps. I went there one time, and it's also a museum in some dude's cabin. Those are the best, passion projects. There's no weirdo. The further there's many weirdos the further north you go. Been here a while. How have you been? It's been a while. How have you been, Shrumo? Thank you for asking, Joy. I firmly believe the remedies are not placebo. Me too, at this point. Like, I know when I'm placeboing myself. At least I think I know. It's like, Melt, if you know you're placeboing yourself, it's not placebo. Damn it, don't call me out, right? Like I notice when I'm doing things with an intention, right? But I feel like the remedies have helped more than just placebo. Agreed. I was just making a statement, like even if it's placebo, right? That it's a truth that you feel better, right? And it makes me feel better. Sometimes it makes me feel worse, to be completely honest as well. Like it can, like for instance, when I started taking agrimony, it like took me for a spin. Like I got taken on a ride. We're going on a ship, going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship, flying through the sky. I got taken on a ride. But after I settled in and realized that this ride was something I was supposed to go on, it became a little bit more balanced, Good even. If it works, Shan, no matter if it peeps are talking about talking. If peeps are talking themselves into it, still works for them, and that's all that matters. Completely agreed. I did lightweight think that's the dude in CA. Could be some maniac living in the middle of the redwoods. Hey Google, what is the definition of a maniac? Such a bad sentence that I just asked. Maniac, a person exhibiting extreme symptoms of wild behavior, especially when violent and dangerous. Okay. Like I probably exhibit extreme symptoms of wild behavior, but not violent or dangerous ones at least. I wonder if there's a word for being extremely wild without it being, violent or dangerous. There's a burp screaming. I don't know if you can hear him. He goes, "Meow," and it's really concerning to my brain. It sounds like something screaming. Super well. I transitioned to a new job, and it was a fortunate decision. Bless. I haven't had this much glow for years. What a blessing it is to hear. Frogs are my favorite animal. How about that? What a trip. Exuberance and vitality. Blessings, even more to you. I only glow because I use my vitamin C serum. I'm good. I should get myself vitamin C serum as well, Joy. I collect frogs, not real ones. Like little figurines, right? I disturb wild frogs only to adorn them in my hands. What a blessing. Now I want to see a book with museum before I die. I mean, make a plan. Careful, the pretty colorless ones are poisonous. Milani loves frogs. We made a frog cake for her second birthday. I'll be eating them. I won't be eating them, so touchy. Yeah, most of them, you only die if you actually consume them, right? Like most things, some things are poisonous, but not actually venomous, right? So don't eat them. Even mushrooms, right? Like you can technically, and I'm not recommending you do this, you can technically take death cap mushrooms and put it in your mouth and chew the flesh. And then if you spit it out, you won't die, right? Your mouth might get a little bit numb, and that's a good way to indicate if a mushroom species is actually poisonous. But yeah, you can technically chew on something poisonous and then spit out the goo, and you won't die from it, right? Like there's a large misconception about how we die from things as well. Joy. Have so many frogs here this year. It rained a ton, and it's like there was a frog population explosion this season. Here too, actually. Like there was an extreme amount of frogs on the farm with the extra rain. They're funny to watch. Everywhere you look, there's a frog cruising across the grass. Shan with there's no way my dog knew what I was doing when I put a few drops on his back in the last few days, Joe. Exactly. He perked up and would eat and drink. Definitely not a placebo. They are real. Yeah, so when I'm trying to remember your dogger's name, Shan. I'm sorry. I know Harvey is your current dogger's name. I'm spacing. But when the puppy was in his last days, getting ready to pass away, he was suffering. And Shan added some of her remedy, onto his back. And it actually helped him, get some little bit more pep in his step. I saw a little pond with 40 bullfrogs on the banka around in the last weekend. I love bullfrogs. We have bullfrogs here on the farm as well occasionally. They're massive. They're like so big. But the delay them, I'm seeing more July tadpoles than I've ever seen. Hopefully you get like a little bit of a frog explosion as well. Out of town, who tried to get me to eat bullfrog. It tastes like swamp chicken. I've eaten bullfrog. Not our own, but when I was in China, I got served bullfrog like 4 times. The first time I went like, and then the other 3 times I went straight for it. I was like, yeah, give me some of that frog. Hit me up, hit me up with that frog. I've actually not bad. I'm not suggesting going out and finding frogs though. Snoopy, the froggy frog. He's always in the same spot. She's giant. Little mama frog. Medicine mother. There you go, Joe. Exactly. Has anyone checked on Zano? She's having a rough time, I'm sure. Please do, Duck Dad. Reach out. This is the way it should be done. Thank you for remembering. Shan, we perform a group summoning in the Discord. Shall we? Maybe. Like maybe we can just think about Zano, right? I feel like that's in part enough as well. Seeing Zano's smiling face, seeing her feeling lighter, being able to get on her feet, move around her environment, maybe even like a little bit of a skip and a jump, as she's making herself a coffee. Instead of thinking about her having a rough time, think about her having the time of her life, right? Because that's what we actually want. That's the truth we're trying to head towards. I messaged her yesterday, Sam, but I also want to be respectful of her space. Blessings. Thank you, Duck Dad, for doing that. I need pics of giant frog, please. Sam, what time is too early to eat hunks of meat at a festival? 10 a.m. is acceptable. There's a time limit? There's a time limit on when you're allowed to start eating hunks of meat? Nobody told me. Nobody told me. I do it anyway. Right, regardless. I don't care about your social conditions, your norms. I do what I been doing. What the dog doing? Okay. Someone's on more. I heard that with poisonous mushrooms, they will also burn the inside of your mouth. There we go. When you chew them, so you can actually add that extra layer of discernment. Interesting, huh? Like I learned that pretty recently, and I was like, oh, if I ever have to survive in the forest, now I know that I can put mushrooms in my mouth and test if they're actually poisonous, if I'm really hungry, without just worrying, oh, this mushroom will kill me if I accidentally eat it. Eat pigs. My cousin used to have poison dart frogs in an aquarium environment. I licked one. I don't recommend it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe licking poison dart frogs shouldn't even be an option. Fortunately, and this is kind of sad as well, poison dart frogs lose their poisonous nature when they're kept in captivity. So maybe that's why you've actually survived it. Poison frogs will affect your world. Yeah, 100%. I read that they are only poisonous if they're fed specific amino acids. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy that you also knew that, Duck Dad. How about that? Florida man origin story right there. He licked a poison frog and then he became Florida man. Like you've heard about Spider-Man. Get ready for Florida man. Oh, that was the theory too. Not entirely accurate. Yeah, probably not fully poisonous, but not completely not poisonous as well. But frog pigs. Gotten sick from bacteria on the Froggo. Yeah, that's also not impossible. Picture Homer licking frogs on his mission trip. I blame Homer Simpson for a lot of my bad ideas. Yeah, Homer Simpson is probably not supposed to be a role model. Like oh, I should do as he does. I feel like that whole character was supposed to be basically a meme. I'm trying to turn my light on. There we go. Extra light. She's not. Oh yeah, it's true. You're actually right, Joy. She did go camping. You guys, thank you for reminding us. There's so many different fractals actively happening that I literally cannot keep it all in my mind for this moment, right? While I'm still running on biomass, there's only that much my brain can absorb. But eventually, I'll have perfect. Like I don't want perfect memory. I want perfect recall. I want to be able to recall anything perfectly when I want to. You look so mystical and whimsical. Oh, whimsy, misty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Libra Lamb. Do you like Libra Lamb or do you want me to call you Shroomo? I mean, the fact that you've chosen yourself a new name, I'll honor that. Thank you. Thank you for honoring me with your eyes, right? Seeing me the way you do. So we should annoy her with lots of Discord boops anyway. Yeah, why not? She can come back to it, seeing that she has been loved, even in her absence. Let's pull a card, shall we? Let's see what sacred geometry has to say. Are you saying he's the Wizard King, Shroomo? Yeah, say that. say to me that I'm Wizard King. I had to whisper, I'm sorry, Duck Dad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to whisper it, so that when it's said, I get to be like, yeah, look. Like I am Wizard King. Get wrecked, Christian. I win. I honor whatever name you choose. Bless. But listen to card time. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a theory behind licking the poison frog, that they might have a hallucinogenic effect. They did, but it wasn't fun. Yeah, it's like the vibe of getting actually poisoned, right? Versus, using like if you want a psychedelic experience, eat some mushrooms, You don't need to lick frogs. You my little baby. You're cute. Purple and green, I see as predictions. You cannot be king until you depose the reigning one in a cunning campaign. Sam, I want to be chosen king. I don't want to depose anyone, right? I just want to be uplifted to the point of kingship. I don't want to, pull anybody else off of their throne. Like I feel like that is kind of like counterintuitive or counterproductive. And it will put me in a state of fear that if I was capable of doing that, someone else will surely do it to me. Right? The same thing with like that whole level of anxiety, right? I don't really think that it would be that great being at least king in the traditional sense of the meaning. Uh, I like the word guide more. One word you friends have used. Brother Duck Dad echoed it. It's Northern Star. I like that one as well. King is a little bit spicy. I know that you don't need to lick frogs, but you never know until you try. It's true. I don't want to live forever. I just want to die a king. Again, right? The part of you that's king, the part of you that sits on the throne, is your awareness. And technically, all of us are that, right? Are you aware of this moment right now? Yes? Where does that thing that is aware sit? I believe in the throne of infinity, right? And this is your castle, right? This part of yourself that you're occupying. And you get to influence this outer world with this castle, moving castle that you have, our divinity. Agreed. There you go. Kids' phone party is lit. It can be. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Perfect recall is dogs coming back when called. Total recall is perfect memory. Hey Google, define perfect recall. Perfect recall, or eidetic memory, is the ability of perfect memorization. Hyperthymesia, another condition with extreme memory. Perfect recall is a concept from game theory used to found subgame perfect equilibrium. So I think you are wrong in that case, Shell. But it can also be called eidetic memory. I want eidetic memory, and it can be done technologically. Hey Google, define total recall. Total recall is the ability to remember with clarity every detail of the events of one's life, of a particular event, object, or experience. So I feel like technically you're right on both sides, Shell. I would like perfect recall and total recall. Why settle for one when you can have both? No, 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 no. No, no. Plus, I can jump super high now. Got superpowers. We all die immortals. Agreed. Our divinity. BG's blasting. Embrace the blue. So we have blue, we have green, we have purple. Warning without exceptions. Taught me how to be a man of quality. Yeah, that's how kingship works. Lots of warnings, no exceptions. Yeah, exactly. I enjoy the BGs. I feel like we're a little bit off topic right now. This is the card for today. No greens, no purples, no blues. We got into the yellows. We haven't pulled this card in a while. Yesterday we pulled Divine Mother, and today we pulled Heart Woman. Like I'm seeing Shan right now in this photo, to be completely honest. Can you friends see that as well? Her with her flower remedies that she's holding. My favorite Bee Gees song is Lonely Days. I don't think I know the Bee Gees well enough. I think my favorite Bee Gees track is Ha 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 Staying Alive. I don't know if that's a Bee Gees track even, but that's the closest my mind caught. Perfect perception of the present would be pretty cool. Mm, I am only in part agreeing. Only in part, Mojo, because we're only seeing a small little sliver of the electromagnetic field, right? Like a small little sliver. If you could perfectly see all of perception in this moment, I feel you would get wrecked with the amount of information trying to flood your senses. I really thought it was about dogs. No, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Now we know more. Melty, that card looks like you right now. I like that too. I can see it. I just don't have blue eyes. But it is card 61, you're right. Is such a thing possible on stream? No, it's not possible, but I don't know how we got to the Bee Gees and blasting the Bee Gees and then talking about Homer Simpson again. Like, especially since I was trying to read a card, I felt like I couldn't resonate. I was like, oh, yes, a state of being. And that wasn't the state of being I wanted to be in. I don't know. My favorite Bee Gees song is All Glowy and Orange, bless. So much lovin's. 16s and 61 combos have been stalking me for months, as well as 123, 1234, and 444. 444 has been present for me. 474 has been present for me. 434 present for me. A lot of 47s, 44s, 34s. I've been seeing 16s as well, and 28s. Now I think about God. Yeah, John being encouraged to do a Bee Gees cover. Sure, why not? I'll put on the tight underpants. Nice. A lot of the streams are tangents, and a lot of them have ADHD. We really stay on topic. I know. I know. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying, oh, you're bad. Stop being off topic. I'm just being like, oh, okay. I can't go into that fractal right now. 1717 on the time right now. One more time, and then we'll actually read what this card means. We haven't pulled this one in forever. So I feel very blessed to be able to read it again. Heart Women. I see Maxine in this one as well, actually. So much lovin's. There it is. Card number 61. What does it mean? What does it mean? The core meaning is inner knowing and integrity. Yo, integrity! Like today's stream topic technically was a conversation on integrity, right? Talking about the truth, like kind of like echoing that it's easier to tell the truth. And if you tell the truth, that kind of means you are a person of integrity, right? I think the last time you pulled this card was the day we had our first consultation, Mel. Oh goodness, that's even cooler. I did pull it reversed, and it's a little bit of a hectic one, Like, take it as you may. You don't have to accept it. I'll read the rest of the meaning as well. But the reverse meaning goes, someone you know lacks integrity. Make certain that person is not you. So to give you an idea of my day to day, like Vesel had a friend over, and I tried to have a conversation with them, but I couldn't. And then I kind of retreated and went to my own space instead. And I felt like that wasn't the ideal situation, right? So that's how I'm interpreting my potential lack of integrity. Hey, Google, define integrity. Integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles or moral uprightness. The first one is honesty. There we go. The state of being whole and undivided. I like that one as well. Let's go for the full meaning. This heart woman is bursting with radiance, is bursting with the radiance of universal love and light from within. She holds in her arms 3 water lilies, which represent our potential for enlightenment. She is surrounded by vibrant feather-like geometry borrowed from a 2006 crop formation. She stands firm in heart essence, flower essence, heart essence, and here represents the highest and best in all of us. This card requests that you, man or woman, or whatever you identify as, it doesn't say that, but inclusivity, right? Connect with this woman of heart and your own inner knowing and core integrity. How might you more fully embrace life's potential and live wholly from your heart? What must come to the surface in order for you to live your personal truth? I'm tripping out. This card feels so synchronous right now. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Release feelings of inadequacy and realize that by the original integrity of your soul, you are a powerful being of manifestation. You are the beloved child of God, perfect and whole, nurtured and loved. Resolve today to connect with your inner knowing and the reality of your divinity. We talked about that as well, Maxine. What a trip. This brilliance is fundamental to all beings. As you let your gifts shine, you also give other people permission to do the same. That one bears repeating. As you let your gifts shine, you also give other people permission to do the same. As you are liberated from the worry of not being good enough, your presence will without doubt liberate others. Allowing your light to be a beacon of support and encouragement in someone's darkness may aid in liberating them from the shadow and dullness that holds many in doubt. Stand fully in your own inner knowing and trust the integrity of your heart. Yeah, what a card. Hot damn. Hot damn. Wow. What a nice one for us to read today. Gorgeous card. No, you. No, you. It's a mirror of you, after all. Gorgeous card. I think the last time you pulled this card, again, so much love. The fact that you told me that was even crazier before I read it. The truth is just easier. I never have to think about what I said and remember some made up lie or story because I told the truth. Exactly. That was like the core essence of today's stream topic. Thank you for echoing it as well, Joy. Like, dude, Brother Gary Lee, do yourself a favor and look up in the messages at the message number 516. You know, Maxine was telling us that the number 1234 has been stalking her, and then you decided to donate $12.34, sending Jovan Lovins as well. She's not here today. She's adventuring as well. Thank you, Brother Bear. Thank you for manifesting abundance into my world. It's such a blessing. You are a blessing. We love you, Gary Lee. Thank you for living with so much integrity, dude. I see you, bro. I'm grateful to be able to. Sometimes things are gray, though. If no one is around and there's a bag of money, integrity would be to take it to the police station. Would it be then wrong to keep it for myself? Yes. So you take it honestly. I mean, I guess, like it's a matter of where you find yourself in the fractal, you know? Like if you're, for instance, suffering, right? Like you don't have enough money to feed your family, and then you find a stack of money, right? That perspective is going to allow you to feel like God, the universe, the infinity gifted you that money so that you can actually take care of your family. But if you have so much money, you don't know what to do with it, and then you find this money, then it can be an opportunity for you to actually show up and try and return that money to the person who might have lost it, who might be in need of that money more than you are, right? So I feel like in that moment, it's going to be your truth that you have to follow, right? And it's going to be you that get to live the consequences of the truth that you follow, right? And You can't lie. You can't lie about your own life to yourself, right? You can try to. You might even convince yourself, but you won't be able to. It's not going to work, at least ultimately. And it's going to be hard, even if you try to. I think it comes down to the intent of the heart. The divine sees into our heart and knows our intent. I'd keep the money and buy my loved ones gifts. There we go. Good answer, Joe and Beansy. Love is true. The money is manifestation of your inner thoughts. I love how we're sharing the same fractal. The existence of money creates more opportunities for evil. Completely agreed. Not only for evil, but the amount of exploitation, right? Exploitation is one of them, and then dependence, right? Those two. Exploitation and dependence, I feel, are some of the most evil states of being you can be in, right? Where there are women in the world right now being abused, actually being abused, but not having a recourse to try and get out of that environment because of money, right? So they stay in an environment where they're being abused because money is like the thing keeping them alive, essentially. And this person who might be beating them is giving enough money for them to feed themselves. And I feel like that's like one of the most evil things. And that's what we're talking about when we say, patriarchy needs to fall. I don't think it's a patriarchy thing. I think it's a power thing, right? Like money is a form of power that people kind of like lord over one another. And I completely agree, Sam. That is like one of the most evil things that I've noticed of this world. It is, but its very nature, it empowers what is on the heart. If you have your eyes fixed on your needs, fear of going without, you take it. I heard this line today, Sam, that really resonated with me as well, where it went, the person who has to live meal by meal only has their next meal to worry about. The person who has enough money to afford their meals have their last meal to worry about, right? So instead of it being like a current moment, I have to find food for myself right now, it's oh, I have enough money to feed myself, even for a month, even for 2 months, even for 10 months. And then what? Right? And then you completely get separated from this moment, right? You get your power of this moment taken away by having more money, right? Like there's a certain hedonic level that we reach where we have enough capital to meet our needs. And then any extra money on top of that doesn't actually create more happiness. But people still believe it will. If I find a bag of cash, I'm going to chalk it up to a blessing. Yeah, it depends on the circumstance, right? If you are sure of yourself or sure of the divine will to provide for you, you turn it in. Agreed. I found out when I leave the stream and come back, all the comments don't remain. I've noticed the same, Nanshi. That's why I'm like very hesitant of leaving the section when I'm busy reading them. I return wallets and purses, especially if they have IDs and stuff in them. Goodness, because that someone lost clutch exactly. But a bag of random cash is different. If the bag of money was from the divine to your thoughts, if you put out the intent to desire, the universe will bring it to you. I feel you. Money is power. With great power comes great responsibility. Agreed. Right? Like I feel, I would like to hope at least that we're going to reach a point where money is going to, at least in part, be something everybody has, right? Enough of. Like we can still have people that are uber rich. We can still have that. But only if, let me rearticulate. We can have people that are super rich, but not at the expense of the people that are super poor, right? I feel like that's kind of like the level we have to come to as humanity, where it's fine. You want to be super rich, you be super rich. But nobody gets to suffer without food. Nobody has to suffer without a place to sleep. Nobody has to suffer without energy. Nobody has to suffer without proper medical care, right? You get to be super rich, but everybody else gets to live a good life as well. That the future of abundance we talk about in the stream sometimes doesn't necessarily have to mean all of us have to live in luxury. It does, however, mean all of us have more opportunity, right? And money can offer opportunities that you might not have access to if you don't have any money, right? If the divine thought needed a buttload of money, it's big enough to give it to me legitimately in a way that does not further test me. Agreed. But if the briefcase full of treasures or cash, like in Pulp Fiction, I'll keep it and using it to change lives. I would probably leave it. You know, like for me, I'm imagining a whole bag of money is probably drug money or something like that, you know, and whoever lost that money might end up trying to murder me if I take it. I might have been a little bit brain damaged by uh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What's the movie's name? No, No Country for Old Men. That's the movie I'm thinking about. That shows you, you know, how keeping the money might get you into more trouble than it's worth, potentially. Cut off sound. That's absolutely true, though. Money is not what is needed to survive, and walking in faith actually makes money unless it is time, and makes money useless at times. Well said, friend. The comments cut off is annoying. Agreed. I want to open an organic vegetable garden for donations and open battered women's shelters, blessings, meditation centers, and live out my days in the redwoods. Happiness is sustained by sharing it with others. Agreed. That's also my hope. Meditation centers, or like I would like to call them longevity clinics, you know, with the same intent, you know, to offer a space where people can actually get better. Oh, we're going to remember that one. Happiness is sustained by sharing it with others. It's a beautiful one. I feel like that one can be, you know, locked into the book of things we're saying. I don't have my pen here right now, but happiness is sustained by sharing it with others. Coding into my brain. I left my wallet with $10,000 in it. Why are you carrying $10,000? It was in yen, so about 100,000 yen on the train platform one day. When I came back home and went to the station, master of course, someone had returned my wallet in Japan. They did have Why did I have that much money in my wallet, you ask? Because I was going to rent a new apartment and you have to bring cash for 2 month deposit. Okay. 2 month in advance and 1 month as a gift. $10,000 still seems a little bit excessive. Like $10,000 is enough money to rent an apartment in South Africa for almost 2 years. Literally 2 years. That's crazy. 1 month is a gift. Yeah, they do have like a very big gifting culture in Japan. It is almost expected. Manifestation of your own future and your own present is not a fairy tale. Agreed. It's a rhythm of life and something we match with the vibration. I agreed. It's called Giri Rent, gift to the landlord. $10,000. Oh, damn. I'm happy that you got your cash back, you know, that people actually, you know, cared enough. Like Japan has a lot of rules, you know, but it does do a lot of things right as well. Okay, let's play some kalimba. Yeah. We're definitely kalimbaing today. Let's do 2 minutes and 22 seconds to kind of like ease us out. Coming to a gentle place. skip bop, skip the bop, dop bop, skop bop, boppity bop, skop, skop it up, bop bop, stop it up, skop. And I assume by the rigidity of the culture that it's pretty much compulsory. Yeah, it's almost like expected, right? Like that's what should be done, you know. Like I feel like that's how it is. Like there's a lot of respect in that culture, you know. It's kind of beautiful actually. Sam, if you want to live somewhere, yes, but maybe that changes now. The homes in Tokyo are going for 300 bucks US. That's not bad actually. Tomorrow, let's discuss if you could only meet one person, who would it be? I'm not going to meet only one person. I'm going to get to meet all of you if you want to, right? Like I want to meet all of you, Joy. Like I feel every single one of you have a whole, you know, person to be, right? Like in the same way that I read every single one of your friends' comments, or at least try to. I want to meet every single one of you as well, right? It'd be like asking me if you could only read one person's comments, whose person's comments would you read? And then, you know, in that fractal, I would end up hurting everyone else who I say I wouldn't want to read their comments. No, no, I'm not gonna play that game. I'm sorry. I love you, Joy, but I'm not playing that game. I couldn't choose just one exactly, right? Why would I? Like, why would I want to choose just one? I could spend hours with so many of you, and you will, Brother Bear. Y'all, if you could choose the same person, if we all choose the same person, we can break the game. I know that's why it's a fun game, though. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Nancy. I might have to saw Sam and Duck in half and say that's like so fucking cursed. Like I'm a picture person. You can't do stuff like that to me, Joy. Like I straight up saw like the insides of both Sam and Duck, and then I saw those gooey insides getting stuck together, and I saw like half face, you know, like a chimera of two people. No, oh, please. Oh, my brain, my poor brain. Making the Sam a bit smaller will not decrease the number of smart ass comments I'll make. I love I feel you might be even more smart ass, you know, Kamiyami-eyeing or fusion highing, you know, with Dugdad. There's Shan's comment with a have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I for seriously love you all so very, very, super, mega, immensely, staggeringly, stupendously, gigantically, gargantuanly, galactically, dearly. Melton all of you oh so wonderfully, fantastically, marvelous, mesmerizingly, extraordinarily, enchantingly, mind-blowingly, gorgeous, lovely friends. As we love you, dear Shan. Shanna, so much love, right? Like the amount of effort to write all of that out. Like it's hard for me just to say it, never mind actually, you know, creating it. Blessings to you, friends. Fortunately, Joy, I get to spend time with everyone who wants to spend time with me, right? So it's more a matter of, do you want to spend time with me? Mm. And if yes, then we do. That's how simple it is. I hope all of you have a day filled with laughter and mystical experiences. You're loved so dearly. Dude, you nailed it, bro. Love you too. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing another moment in space and time, to consciously evolve alongside me, actively growing, becoming more powerful by being truthful. I honor you, friends, eternally. I bless you, dear ones. Mojo, lovings to you too. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I'll see you again soon, tomorrow. Love you. Till we do this again.